Streaming from the 22 News Broadcast Center. This is 22 News at 4 p.m. Digital Edition.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Nick Oresco, and thank you for joining us for 22 News at 4 o'clock. We'll get to your top stories in just a moment. First, chilly this morning. Many towns breaking records across the area. And I've been seeing a lot of comments, especially about global warming. Many asking the question, how can there be global warming if we're seeing all these record low temperatures? Well, global warming doesn't mean the elimination of cold. It just means that we're seeing less frequent cold. In fact, across the country this year in 2025, for every one record low, there has been 2.15 record highs. If you do the math there, that means that the country is still warming, even though we are seeing record lows this winter. Let's bring in meteorologist Brian Lapis. So, Brian,
I love that.
That means we are still going to see the cold.
Yeah.
We're still going to see the snow.
Right.
We're still going to see record low temperatures.
Sure.
Just not as frequent as we have in the past.
You nailed it. In fact, maybe if I get time, I'll show you a graphic of winter warming at our 100-plus year climate site in Amherst.
Okay.
If I can find it.
Yeah.
I got to find it. Should we do traffic?
Let's do it.
All right. Cold start here this morning. In fact, as Nick was mentioning, we get down to 3 below at Westover Air Reserve Base. Good for a new record. Breaks the old record that was set back in 1989. Traffic is actually pretty light as we speak here. No major problems downtown. Even the 291 merge with I-91 South is moving along fine. Temperatures right now are in the 20s. There we are, 25, Northampton, Westfield, Springfield, 23, Greenfield, 22 in Pittsfield. Clouds and radar, 1243 to 343. You can see that there are some flurries here, and I can't rule out a few flurries later this evening, especially north of Northampton. But for the most part, this evening is dry. Tomorrow will be slushy in some spots. We'll show you with the 22 News Storm Team forecast.
People in the community continue to help those displaced by the 2 fires in Holyoke last week. Ida Torres from Ware delivered food to the Red Roof Inn today, where some of the fire victims are staying. These are just some of the nearly 70 people who lost their homes after the fires on Clemente and High Streets. Some of the fire victims staying there right now have until Thursday before help runs out. One resident telling 22 News that once Thursday comes around, they will not have any more emergency aid. We will have the full story tonight on 22 News at 6. A portion of I-91 North in Hatfield was closed due to a crash this morning. This is what our 22 News crews could see when they drove by the accident at around 10 o'clock this morning. We could see a crane trying to pull an oil tanker truck from the snowy side of the road. Traffic was down to 1 lane and there was a heavy backup. No word yet if anyone was hurt or what caused the crash. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. Today marks day 7 of the Brian Walsh murder trial. The Cohasset man is accused of killing his wife in 2023. In court Monday, prosecutors presented surveillance video from January 2023. It shows Walsh buying buckets and cleaning supplies at a Lowe's self-checkout kiosk. Prosecutors say the purchases were made just hours after online searches on how to dismember a body and clean up the evidence. Testimony was delayed this morning, but began with forensic scientist Matthew Sheehan returning to the stand for cross-examination. The defense asked about how Sheehan tested blood in the Walsh basement, and he confirmed it was not tested for quantity. $12 Tuesdays returns tonight to Bright Nights at Forest Park. Tickets for the special $12 Tuesdays must be purchased in advance on the Bright Nights website. There's a limit of 1,500 tickets each night. The $12 Tuesday event runs from 5 to 9 p.m. The dazzling display features a 3-mile tour through over 750,000 lights, including the new grand Christmas tree in Santa's Magical Forest. Bright Nights opened for its 31st year on November 26 and runs through January 4th. Back now with Brian, we have some cold weather and also some rain and snow on the way.
Yeah, and as requested, I've got the climate data for you. This is a slightly older graphic. It's about 4 or 5 years old, but it gives you a pretty good picture of this long-term warming that Nick was talking about at Amherst, where we have a climate record that goes back to the early to mid 1800s. So you can see this steady line of warming over the last century or more here in the Pioneer Valley. So winters are, in fact, getting warmer despite this little punctuation mark, I guess you could say, of cold air here this morning. All right, clouds and radar. Again, 1247 to 347. You can see the clouds rolling in after a bright, actually it was not a bad morning other than the cold. A lot of sunshine. Now the clouds are in place. A few flurries. Let's take a look what that does to our forecast here in terms of the 22 News Storm Team Skycast. 5 o'clock here this afternoon, we're dry. There's the chance for a flurry or two this evening, mainly north of Northampton, but for the most part, we stay dry here this evening. So if you've got plans to be out and about, the snow should not be a problem for you. And then tomorrow morning, mostly cloudy, chance for some snow showers in the morning. Notice 10 o'clock, a little batch of snow showers are possible, especially west of the Connecticut River. The bulk of the action comes in during the afternoon. Here's noontime tomorrow, and you can see this mixture of rain and snow at 2 o'clock. South and east of Northampton, it's mainly rain. North and west of Northampton, it's mainly snow. And the snow that we get will not last for very long in terms of the time that it'll be happening. Watch, by 5, 7 o'clock, 5, 6 or 7 o'clock or so, it's out of here. So things will be improving as we go through the evening commute, but there is the chance for a minor accumulation of snow, especially in western Hamden, western Hampshire, and across Franklin County. We'll update you on 22 News at 5.
Workers at the Louvre Museum in Paris announcing on Monday that they will go on strike next week. The employees say they're striking to protest their work conditions, a ticket price hike for non-European visitors, and security weaknesses that allowed for the massive jewel theft back in October. The union's strike notice claims the museum is in crisis and that visiting the Louvre has become increasingly difficult for art lovers. According to a union representative, the vote to strike was unanimous. One NASA astronaut and 2 Russian cosmonauts have returned to Earth from the International Space Station today. The crew members were in space for 245 days. Their spacecraft separated from the ISS Monday night over eastern Mongolia. They touched down on the Earth's surface a little after midnight. The crew's replacement team have arrived at the ISS, where they are expected to remain for the next 8 months. Shohei Ohtani is catching up with more legends as the baseball star was named the Associated Press Male Athlete of the Year for the 4th time. This ties him with Lance Armstrong, LeBron James, and Tiger Woods for the most wins among male honorees. The win comes after his two-way dominance in the repeat World Series title for the Los Angeles Dodgers, where he delivered one of the greatest single-game individual performances in sports history. The AP's Female Athlete of the Year will be announced tomorrow. Tonight on 22 News, starting at 5 o'clock, federal funding cuts have stopped the construction of a new cement plant in Holyoke. We'll tell you how state and local leaders are responding. And millions of people are shopping online this holiday season. Hear how you can ensure your gifts arrive on time. Plus, the Springfield Police Auto Unit is warning residents to stay vigilant to prevent car thefts. The tips they have to help keep you safe. Brian.
Traffic is running pretty well here this afternoon. You can see no major backups. There's the usual slow going downtown, but that's about it. 91 north of town is good, and the Pike looks good in either direction. A little bit of slush in the works for tomorrow with some snow and rain. We'll show you on 22 News at 5.
Updates anytime at wwlp.com, the free 22 News app, and always on 22 News. Plus, we'll see you tonight, starting at 5.